G'day, I'm Blake. Welcome to Online Tabletop Role-Playing Games. Today we're playing Dragonbane. Fantasy role-playing game. So, Dragonbane's a new English version of an update of Draco och Demones, which is an old Swedish game. It's been around for about 40 years and it's been revised and updated and stuff. And yeah. Now, it is an online game, so we've got the sort of basic safety option, so no sexual violence, no harm to children, no homophobia, no sexism, no racism. And as always, X cards on the table. Just put X in chat or do the X thing, whatever, let us know, and we'll remove that bit and do something else. So we've got 4 players using the pre-gens from the Dragonbane thing. Downloads. Yeah. If we'd like to go around the table and briefly, just tell us a bit about, I don't know, maybe your favorite role-playing game and what character you're playing today. We'll start with Dom.
Yeah, okay. Hello everyone, my name is Dom, he, him, and we're role-playing game. Okay, that's pretty hard. You put me on the spot. Guys, I've been really enjoying Mothership recently, so I think at the moment that's kind of like a favorite, but I think it's another thing that like changes like every month after you get like a bit more time to play around. But the current demand for me is kind of Mothership. And for the Dragonbane campaign, I'm going to be playing the knight called Markendor of Halfway, who is a Mald, which is one of the dark people in the Dragonbane. As a Plebeian, he does have a bit of a role. In Markendor's case, he's the youngest son of a Baron, and since he's older but lesser brother, he's going to basically inherit the baroncy. Markendor has decided to basically go out into the world in the name of honor and pride as a knight to make their name as an adventurer and to accomplish great things. I will play him. You'll see as it comes along.
Sounds good. If we go to Clarice next.
So Clarice, she, her. Guess like I really enjoy Fortune in the Dark systems. So this will be something, and this is going to be something new to me. Interesting to see what Dragonbane is like and all. And I'll be playing the Elven Hunter, who is, well, dealing with family expectations and loves for adventure, it seems, for the most part.
Sounds good. Rod, would you like to go next?
Hi, I'm Rod, he, him. I think as far as genres, my favorite genre for role playing is superheroes, but of course, fantasy has a special place. With D&D really being the grandfather of everything. I will be playing Kursana the Bold today, who is a halfling thief. I don't usually play thieves, so this will be interesting. I am looking forward to having some heroic adventure or misadventures, as it may be. So happy to be here.
Jolly good. And Fumi.
It's like, hello, I'm Fumi. It's like pretty much any pronouns and everything. As far as my favorite tabletop game goes, I pretty much I try to play a little bit of everything and all, and it's like I tend to enjoy different things depending on what kind of game we're playing, there's different things to enjoy about pretty much each and every one of them. For this particular game of Dragonbane, I'll be playing the Wolfkin fighter Baston Bloodjaw, who it's like I suppose went onto adventuring dudes. It's like after tiring of tribal feuds and everything from their it's like origins in the northern wastelands.
That's why I'm muting myself. Jolly good. Okay, if at any point you have a question, just stop me and ask. It's all good. So, player tips is most things are a d20 roll. You want to roll under a skill, so rolling low is good for d20s. One action a turn, and you might have to stop your planned attack and do a defend to get out of the way, but that's better than getting splattered by a massive minotaur or whatever it is. There's boons and banes. So a boon is an extra dice, and you take the lowest one because you want to roll low. A bane is like disadvantage. It's an extra dice and it rolls, and you take the higher one because you're trying to fight while lying down, or you've been hit in the head, or whatever. But we'll go over that when it comes up. Most abilities and spells just use willpower, and once it's drained, you've got to rest. It's pretty simple. Use tactics against your enemies. Don't just say, we'll charge in and we're going to fight an equal fight every time. Not going to happen. You need to use the terrain and tactics. Otherwise, you're just going to get pasted. It's a bit old school as far as that goes. And when you're traveling in the wilderness, pack accordingly, take torches, take bandages, take water and whatever. Okay, so for today's journey, you're in the Magna Woods. Let's actually get a map up. Yeah. Okay. What? Not Google Slides. Yeah. That one. Can I zoom in a bit? Okay. So, outskirt in the middle is a sort of the main frontier town right on the edge of civilization. And then directly above that is Magna Woods, being big forest, basically. So you're up in there today. This is a map of the Misty Vale, called so because it's frequently foggy. It's actually not a very big area, but there's a lot of dastardly adventurous stuff happening in there. So, where are we? Now, basically, your quest is one of you has an uncle that lives in a cabin in the woods, because it's always safe there. And they've got a lockbox with a journal. They're too injured and frail to go and get it themselves, so they would ask you lot to go. There's some, coin in it for all of you, but there's also a family journal. Is anyone a human? No. Well, he's obviously not a human uncle. I might make it Chrysania's uncle. So it's an old halfling asked your brave crew to go and get the journal and the money, and you're gonna have some of the cash and make a bit of a name for yourself while you're out there, hopefully. And okay. Any questions so far? Nope. All good.
I'm sorry, did you say that the journal, the uncle has the journal, or the uncle wants the journal?
The uncle wants a journal. He's too old and frail and injured, and he's asked you lot to go, and he'll give you some coin as well. That's part of that, of course. Woods Reel. Where is it? That one. So you're traveling through the forest. Looks a bit like that. I'm not sure if you can hear that or not. Actually hear that. But anyway, you're going through the woods. you think you're all comfortable, or some of you are sort of uncomfortable? How do you think your characters are in the woods?
I would say my character is pretty accustomed to the woods, as it's kind of been more or less what they've kind of grown up in and been around the most. So they're pretty okay with going through the woods compared to like other terrain.
Anyone else have any thoughts either way about?
Yeah, I'd say my character is pretty comfortable considering they've worked as a mercenary and a gladiator and all sorts of other things. So
Take it all in your stride. Doesn't bother you. This
I mean, they might possibly be guarded and everything on the lookout for it's like things given their experience with their many it's like various occupations and everything. So they're
Yeah.
probably not like comfortable, but they're not really out of their element.
Yeah,
Yep.
that'd be the same with mine, where it's like it's the thing of like, oh yeah, comfortable with it, but very accustomed to things behind trees or above them as
Yep.
you were.
You're in work mode. You're alert. You're looking around. Yep. Okay. Now, one of you needs to make a bushcraft roll. So you're basically the scout, the one leading the trail, saying we need to go up here to avoid that ravine or whatever. Who wants to do that? Obviously, it's someone with a decent bushcraft skills, unless you want to fail and see how the rules go, but it's up to you.
Not me. I have a
Yeah,
sense.
that's probably not
the
me.
Which skill is that?
A bushcraft.
I don't see that on this sheet.
It should be. It's like on your list of skills. It's in
Bushcraft.
alphabetical order.
Oh, well, I
Yeah,
guess
it becomes too
I'll
much
probably
saying
do
numbers.
that.
Not Baston.
Yeah, probably not Baston.
Yeah, I'd probably be doing this anyway, since I'm very comfortable with the force, and I feel like I'd probably be the one offering to kind of be the guide.
Surely good. So, yep. Either use the online roller or D20 you've got at your table, and roll under your skill if you can.
Okay, now I don't know what kind of dice I use for this.
A D20. It's all
D20.
skill rolls
Oh,
are D20.
D20.
Roll low.
All right.
Ooh.
But, I don't know if that's roll low, but there you go.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not right. It wasn't like epic failure. It was just, not so good.
And then I have
These aren't the woods that you remember.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you can decide to push the roll if you want to re-roll. So you basically, like, you choose a stat, like it might be willpower, like you failed in front of a group before and you don't want to fail again because it's super embarrassing. So you'll take a condition or a bane against willpower until you get to rest, but you get to re-roll. You don't have to. You can just go, no, let's just fail and see what happens.
I'm gonna say we're gonna at least try. You get used to this condition thing here, so I might as well try that out here. I'll just.
It doesn't have to be willpower. It could be constitution. It could be I feel a bit sick, so I'm going to take banes against any constitution roll until I rest. But
let's see here.
it could be charisma. You could think I'm just going to be quiet because I don't want them to know all the thoughts in my head about how embarrassing it is when you're leading and you let down the team.
Yeah, so you see the conditions underneath your
Yeah.
attribute scores. Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like scared, angry, dazed, and all that stuff. That's what I'm reading here. I would say, I'll probably go with the charisma for the disheartened thing, because I think it's that thing of like I have an expectation of myself, and the fact that other matters I'm feeling like I'm stumbling over things that I really shouldn't.
All right. So until you get a big rest, you've got Bane on that stat, and you get to re-roll. The bushcraft skill, you still got to take what you roll because you might fail again, but at least gives you the chance. 8, much better. It definitely undoes. Yeah, you've got this. You just had to clear your head a bit and focus, and yep, you're right. Okay, so yep, you find the best way to get there without, getting in a flash flood or mobbed by monsters or anything like that. So that's all going well. And all right. That one. You get to Chrysania's uncle's cabin, which looks a bit like this. So it's obviously, while it's still upright, it's obviously seen better days. Sheesh. Side note, when you Google lots of pictures, you get lots of weird ads. So I get ads for like camping in Montana and Idaho and stuff because I've been Googling cabins. But yes, all part of the joy of running games. All right, so that's what the cabin looks like.
I'll run in.
Now, the cabin is called
Calling
Ashen
for my uncle.
Cleft. That's what your uncle called it. Now, before you run in, there are some like farm animals around it, like sheep and goats. I'm not going to go into detail, but it looks like they've been dead for some time. It looks like someone attacked the site, but they didn't like starve or anything. Someone attacked the site, basically.
Can I tell what kind of wounds they've got? I mean, I guess they seem they're like cut up.
Big claws. It's not like weapons. It was something bestial.
How fresh do they look?
Oh, a couple of weeks ago. It's not.
Oh,
It's just happened or something.
you got carrion and everything like that.
Yeah. There'd be flies and crows watching for you lot to leave.
Well, now I run in.
Okay, no worries. Are the rest of you running in as well, or are you just going to let the halfling?
I am definitely not. I am much more cautious at this just because I'm like, okay, just because they're older bodies and everything like that, I can't rule out that there's still possible other creatures or things around. So I am very cautiously looking around and trying to assess that things are still okay to proceed around in this area.
I think Macanidor is seeing the damage to the livestock I was in and seeing how Chrysana just brought it in alone without checking if there's any potential danger in the cabin itself. Macanidor is going to basically follow Chrysana into the cabin.
Yep.
And as he does so, I think he'll basically just also tell order that basically go ahead and do what she was planning to do of just keeping an eye out, making sure that nothing potentially sneaks up upon us.
Okay. And what about Baston? Is he keeping an eye out, or is he going in as well? Or
I think Fastone probably sort of doesn't really, it's kind of follows but doesn't really step too deeply in and everything. It's kind of, I guess, in a sort of middle way sort of thing, sort of, since Orla basically seems to be keeping an eye on the outside, and then you have it's Kristana who's running straight in and everything. So kind of just, I guess, covering the middle ground, I guess, if that makes sense. Helping with the investigation, but not running too far deep in.
Just as a player reminder, there are weaknesses for your characters. I think it's up the top left, which is just a sort of, and also mementos on the right side, roughly in the middle. So At some point, you might want to sort of role play and bring them in, but you don't have to. It's just an option there if something works out. Okay, so the cabin, cabin was trashed a couple of weeks ago. It doesn't look like they've been looking for anything. It just looks like something stumbled in and trashed stuff. And yeah, went out again.
I think Markenda is going to just turn to Christiana. Christiana, you cannot just run into a danger without ensuring that you cannot just run into potential danger. You didn't even run any preliminary search. Whatever was out there could have still been in here.
I'm worried about my uncle. So
Well, okay. Your uncle's back in the city. He sent you on this mission.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So he sent you
Right,
off
for
into the
some
woods to get the stuff from his cabin because he's not able to do it. But the lockbox that he told you about isn't there. It's not in his cabin.
Okay.
The cabinet's called Ashen Cleft because there's like a chasm just over there. It's like 20 meters or 60 feet away. But other than that, yeah, you can't see the lockbox anywhere. You could search around the cabin. Sorry, you could search in the cabin. You could search around the cabin.
I mean, I'll poke my head in up the window just to see what's inside before I go in.
Yeah, like tables and chairs. It looks like some sort of bed. But it looks like it's all kind of been smashed and thrown to the sides.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna start searching where my uncle told me it might be.
Under the bed. So that would be, let's look around. Guess it would just be awareness. I might get Bast on the roll awareness as well. So it's just D20. You roll low if you can.
Yeah.
I do not make it, but Chris is like.
All right, so we'll look at okay. Yeah, you can't see anything sort of obvious apart from the smashed furniture inside. Outside, all I can see some tracks going towards the chasm. They're not human tracks, though. They've got a weird sort of triangle shape to their feet, if you call them that.
Can I possibly try a beast lore roll? Not that that's going to be very easy for me since I only have a 5. But
Yeah, you can have a try.
nope, that does not make it.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty confident they're not human, but other than that, ugh.
Let's see. I guess I kind of turn over towards Orla and ask her, it's like, do you make anything of this? And these, it's like probably, it's sort of like, you said they were like, the footprints are kind of triangular?
Yeah.
Was it? I guess it's like basically looking at this and clearly not recognizing it. It's almost like basically it's like, I guess like the camera sort of zooms on Baston's head and mentally you just see like the image of him trying to figure out how to put a square peg to a triangle hole.
Okay.
So I'm looking at triangles that now. Yeah, so what I'm basically seeing here is these triangle feet prints. Is there, just because of my history with like my issues with certain Nightkin, none of these look like goblins or anything like that, right? This
Nah,
no,
nah.
okay. It does. It's very clearly it's not that much. So Orla's just kind of looking at this, and I mean, I'm a hunter and everything, but I don't know if this would. Looking at these, if this would be anything that would like strike me as like anything even remotely hunt related, or if this is something beast related. So I guess I would be kind of looking at this from a hunter's like kind of idea of like seeing if this is any kind of like kind of creature I would normally have like hunted in the forest or anything like that.
You're pretty sure it's not a bird because it's not like hopping. It's got a normal stride, so it's something vaguely upright. But other than that,
And yeah, with that, Orla just kind of replies back. It's like, looks like footprints, and that's all I got.
now it's late afternoon, so it's probably going to be dark in about an hour. You could camp in the cabin for the night, or camp in the woods for the night, or go on to the look down the cabin, as well. It's up to you lot. But it is going to be dark in an hour, so.
Do the tracks look like they were made by a four-footed creature or bipedal?
No.
Okay.
No, it looks more bipedal.
Seeing how it's going to be dark in an hour, I propose that we stay the night in this rather toward a very down cottage. There's plenty of wood around that I'm sure Uncle wouldn't mind us using to make just like a quick campfire for the night.
I can agree. It's like staying the night at the cabin would be a little bit more, it's like reasonable and perhaps easier on our supply.
Yeah, I mean nothing bad ever happened in a cabin in the woods overnight.
He was expecting that, but it might be, it's like, but it's not like staying out in the woods, like woods is necessarily more or less dangerous.
No. Okay.
Orla also just likes the idea because well, this is a very defendable structure, whereas like just being out and about here, it's you're a little bit more out in the open. So it's at least here they feel like, oh yeah, no, this works. Though they are more inclined to see if the roof can potentially support them being on top of it and all, because they'd rather be kind of have the high ground and everything, especially if they need to take a shot. We're gonna, we're gonna see if it can support me. I'm definitely feeling it out.
It may be one of you, but yeah, I don't know about all four. It's,
I mean, I think one thing that comes to mind is Krisana's a halfling, which probably implies that it's like that her uncle is likely also is like a halfling, which probably suggests that it's like
not the biggest cabin. No. But no, the roof should be able to support one or two of you, but probably not all four.
Yeah, then Orla's going to actually just climb right on up there and kind of situate their stuff and everything, and kind of just getting there, having like some arrows just kind of right by her side and everything, just being ready to just kind of relax and enjoy staying here for the night, but also be ready in case anything turns up.
Okay.
I think Baston will probably station himself like outside right by his like door and everything. If in part because it's probably a lot harder for him to actually get inside. It's like and also to help it's like keep watch with Orla.
Okay.
I'm gonna start cleaning up as best I can, try to make it as defensible as I can. I don't know how. It looks
Yeah,
pretty
well,
beat
there were
up.
some chairs and tables. You could put a couple of them against a door or a wall or whatever, at least block off one of the entrances. And
Right. Oh
And
boy.
I think Mackinder is just going to basically pick up some twigs and pieces of wood around the property just to be used as firewood for the campfire that we're going to be running for the
Okay.
night.
Yeah, you may want to, like, some of the carcasses that are a bit closer to the cabin may want to drag them a bit further away, so in case any predators come, they can go and eat over there instead of right outside the cabin. But yeah, okay, so so you can rest. Now you found a suitable resting place, so you don't need to roll for that. Keeping watch. Okay, so it's basically up to me. Cool bananas. All right.
I
It
think
is
that
quiet here. You might, it was forest, so you probably get some foxes or weasels or something try and come over to the carrion, but that's about it.
Is it possible, just because I want to be prepared for having a meal, is it possible I can potentially take aim on any of these wandering little beasts?
Do you want to kill a badger or a fox to eat?
Hey, you make do with what you need as a hunter.
Sure. Is it bushcraft or is it?
That might be hunting and fishing.
Yeah, that sounds right. Okay. I can probably stop sharing that now. Now you know what the cabin looks like. Okay. Yeah. Roll hunting and fishing. I'm pretty sure that's under.
Yep, that's under.
Yeah, easily. Okay. Yeah, bang. All right, you've got a big. I don't know. Well, let's say it's a wild boar, but like, not a massive one. It's just a little one that's come over, like the smell. You've got a wild boar to eat now.
And just, yep, immediately very satisfied and everything. Just kind of hops off the roof to go nab both their arrow and the newly acquired meat, and then just kind of very awkwardly, no communication whatsoever, just kind of places it right at the doorstep, and then goes right back on top of the roof.
But Baston, something smells really good nearby.
So I think you can kind of see Vestone probably sort of for a moment, the scent kind of catches him sort of and then just that sort of, I guess, that thing where how dogs just sort of they get distracted, just sniff wildly in the direction and kind of just starts following along and everything.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you can cut that up and eat it, or cook it and cut it up, whatever. It's up to you.
That does bring to mind, was there any sort of particular scent around where those strange footprints were?
Okay. That's a good question. I'm just trying to think if this would be hunting or if this would be like beast law. I could see an argument for either beast law or hunting. So you roll what you think you're doing. Are you sort of running through your memory, or are you just sniffing around close to the ground?
Yeah, I guess that might be a little bit closer to hunting.
Yeah.
It's since he's trying to catch a scent of some sort. Let's see.
Okay.
Nope, that did not make it, because it's
let's see. Smells bad. The meat smells good. The footprints do not.
Yeah, I'm wondering because I do have hunting instincts where I can designate a creature that I catch a scent of as my prey.
Okay.
And then I can follow that scent for it's like full day, which was it's
You can
like
do
so
that
yeah.
if you want.
I will probably investigate. So I try investigating that again the day after, probably.
Okay. So yeah, you have your boar.
I think that perhaps as you like cooking the board and making dinner, I think that Markendor is going to think back on the stories they might have heard and like stories and fables they heard about the magna woods,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to he's going to see if he can recollect anything and basically just like tell it like a campfire story with the
Okay.
others.
Do you want to roll myth and legends, or is he just?
Yeah, so myth and legends.
Got 10. Okay. Oh,
That's a 2.
nearly a critical success, but yeah, so pretty good. Yeah. Makanda would remember a story about there's actually caves and grottos and stuff beneath the woods. And that's why people, parents would always say to their kids, don't go out in the woods. The creatures from below would come up and grab you. And if you're being naughty, you got to do your chores and stay home and listen to your parents and never go in the woods alone. But yeah, it would always, all the stories would be there's something in a cave in the woods, not just running around the woods on its own. So there's stuff beneath the woods, they say.
Okay. And Mark basically
also,
release all this information like he's telling a ghost story.
he's holding the torch under his chin and okay. And you all get to have a bit of a rest that night, so you get rid of your condition, Clarice. I should say Orla. So yeah, so at this point you should all be fully rested in the morning.
And since it is the morning and everything,
It's a bit foggy, but still, you can feel the sun's warmth trying to creep through.
does there seem to be any kind of anything like from twigs or any kind of part of the forest around this area that looks like it has been disturbed, possibly by something that's a lot higher or different than what we had with the boars and the foxes? Basically, looking to see if like any kind of creature kind of may have snapped anything or.
Not last night, but apart from the boar, it was very quiet. It was like more quiet than normal woods. It's like, yeah, animals are avoiding this area. Baston notices the smell of the tracks do go to the chasm. And yeah, that's it. It's just quiet morning.
I think Baston basically turns to Chrisana. We're here because it's like probably asks if Chrisana was able to find anything about it was a journal that we were requested to.
Yeah.
It's like
Also,
retrieve
a bunch of coins, but the journal's sort of sentimental value to the family.
Yeah, so I guess it's like you would ask Chrisana if she it's like found what she needed to or anything, or any clues regarding that.
No, right? I don't think I found anything when I searched. So I mean, whatever ransacked the cabin could have just taken everything.
Yeah. I mean, it was just a cabin. There wasn't a lot there. The lockbox definitely wasn't there. The key was still under the mat, but most of the furniture was trashed and thrown against the wall. So you've got the key and the mat.
Okay, group. So what's the plan? We need to find that journal and money. And from the looks of it, the only lead is that there seems to be some footprints. And according to Boston, there appears to be a scent going to the chasm. So do we follow?
Oh yeah, we follow.
I guess this means that Baston basically is going to be leading as he goes. It's like falling after where the scent takes him, which apparently seems to be the chasm.
Yep. So the chasm sort of opens up into sort of a tunnel that goes down into the ground. That one. So it's like that. It's not a nice, neatly man-made dungeon or anything. It is, yeah, rough cut cabin rocks. Does anyone actually have any rope or like grappling hook climbing stuff?
I do.
I have rope as well.
Okay, cool. Because basically, if you didn't, you could still do it, but you'd have like a bane to the roll. But you do, so you're good. You're prepared. So, hang on. So, is it climbing or is it bushcraft? That's a good question. Let's have a look. Then jumping, yeah, it's acrobatics. So I'll say whoever's going to go down the cave first needs to roll acrobatics.
I can go.
I'm pretty sure it's not going to be Makanda because with heavy armor, they should probably go last.
Sure. Yeah, I'll jump in first. I'm fine with that. A 3.
Smashed. All right, so you find your way down first from the surface, and then you can, till the others go to that rock, then go to that rock, come down, and yeah, make it easier for them. So I'm not going to get everybody to roll. That's fine. Okay, make your way down. Unfortunately, out of the darkness come some creatures. Dun, dun, dun. They look like this. Just yeah. Have kind of triangular feet. They make a click click sound with their mouth as they're coming towards you.
How big are they?
I'd say only 4 foot or 120 centimeters, but that's big enough, trust me. Much bigger than regular beetles.
Does the beetle's little credit armor here show any kind of spots where if I need to deal with it, I could potentially kind of get in between the armor a bit here?
Is that an ability or something you're
No,
using?
I was just kind of curious, because that's what my character is just kind of looking at. Is like, does it look like this thing's like fully like decked out, like kind of armor kind of thing?
Yeah, so you might have to go for the eye or.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of curious. Okay, so yeah, no, this thing's it's got some natural good armor on itself.
So do they seem to be the source of the scent I'm following?
Yes.
Does it seem to have any sign of our quarry that we're actually looking for on it?
Yeah, well, it smells like the tracks that Baston is following.
But
And
no journal or anything like that that we can see?
No, they're just coming towards you with their claws. And it's initiative. It's a sentence I haven't said for years. All right. Everyone needs to roll a d10. So 5 from Canada. Seven as well. Okay. Chrisana, you need to re-roll because there's already someone at 7. And I got to roll as well. That one. Normally there's initiative cards, but it's harder to do online. Okay. So you get 7 twice.
I did. Yeah.
Okay. So they're on 8. And to save time, I'm just going to bump you up to 6. So, all right. Well, Orla and Chrysania, does one of you want to go at 4 and one of you want to go at 7?
I will go. After, I guess I'll go after Chrysania.
Yep. So Chrysania goes first then. Okay. Because it's starting at 1, counting down. They're coming towards the party. What are you doing? You're going to try and hide and go back up the rope? You're going to try and get some cover behind some of the rocks? You're just going to charge in with your knife? Oh. Also, you may want to also light a torch because at the minute everyone's got Bane to hit because it's dark down here.
Yeah, I'll light a torch.
All right. So you can light a torch, move to the. You can still take cover while you're doing that because you got movement, so you can get behind some stalagmites and stalactites and light the torch sort of thing. You have an attack, but hey, you've stopped everyone else getting Bane on their attacks, and you've got some cover.
Okay.
So it might feel like it's a waste because you didn't attack, but it's not.
All right.
It's good to use a terrain. 5, Makanda.
Let's see. Amakanda's weakness is full hard D. Always go first into danger. So I think I'm gonna play to that, and I think also it's gonna be Knight D kind of tank of the party. Makanda is going to move in front of the group, so he will be the first to actually make contact with this beetle creature.
Okay.
And I think he's probably not in the range to attack yet. So
They
I think
look like they're coming to attack you. So,
yeah, I think at the moment Makana is just going to move up, so they like burst in the line of people that the beetle could attack, and then I think I'm just going to save my action for a potential reaction.
hang on. There's okay, you could. There's a topple option where you try and knock them down. So you could try and knock one down and say, "Look, we're not here to fight." Give them the option to back away and stop, sort of thing, if you want.
Hmm.
You don't have to. It's just an option.
That is an
Or you
option.
can stand there and yell out, "Back off!" You know.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with my original spell, and I'm going to basically skip my action this turn to use a reaction when the beetle potentially does something.
Okay. So now we're up to Baston, the Wolfkin fighter. What would you like to do?
Okay, so it looks like how many of them are there?
2.
2. And they look intent on like attacking us, I guess, since we rolled
Yep.
initiative.
They're coming at Makanda.
Both of them?
Yes.
Okay. I think I'll go ahead and try to attack the one that is closer to me with my long spear then.
Okay. So just roll under your spear skill.
Does it
So,
hit if it's equal to your skill?
yes. Yep.
Okay.
Equal
Yeah.
unders.
All right
Yep.
then, and then I rolled. Let's see, 2d8 for damage, and then I add the additional bonus damage for my strength.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's see. Looks like a total of 17, and then I don't know how much armor these. It's like this bug thing has.
I've got page open. Holy cow! Sorry, how much damage?
17, I guess.
Oh, good, because they've got heaps of armor. Okay. Yes, you realise they've got quite a bit of armor, so it's still up. You sort of smack it down. There's quite a bit of green ichor coming out of it, but yeah, you think if that was a human, you would have torn it in half. So yeah, their shell is quite hard. And it's going to staggered back a bit, but it's still coming towards you. That was 6, 7, all off. So now it's wounded or unwounded, or
Let's see here.
grab Krisanna's torch and run off.
Run off into the distance. Let's see here. I guess can I do my do like an attack before my movement and then do movement after, or does it have to be?
Yep.
Okay.
You pick either way.
Then yeah, I'd just probably from the position I'm already in, I would just kind of go with the best rule is to take down one so that there's one less. So I'm absolutely going to just try and take down this one that is already
Wounded. Yep.
wounded and not looking too good. Or as good.
Alrighty. Oh, hang on.
And I will be definitely using my bow on that.
There's a long pause in there. Sorry, there's some dramatic battle music for you. All right. So, roll you under your bow skill.
Okay, so where is my bow skill here?
Right column under weapon
Oh yeah,
skill.
there it is. So that's a 14. And then I roll that first, right? Okay.
Yep.
Yep, that's a hit. And then
Okay,
you would
then
try to roll your
nice.
d12 plus d6.
Yep. All right, that's enough of that. All right. So 13 damage. No? Hang on. Oh, yeah. Good. Okay, so minus the 6 points of armor that it has, which is huge. But you do actually finish it off.
All right. And after kind of making sure my arrows kind of just hit their mark, I immediately kind of rush further away and kind of go try to get on an incline behind some rock.
Yep, no, that's a good plan. All right, so they're on 8 because I rolled terrible initiative. So the last one he was charging towards Makanda, and then it's sort of just saw his buddy go down. Yeah, I think it's too short a period of time for him to sort of realize what's going on. I think he's still going to go. All right. What am I doing? I don't bloody roll a hit. Wrong game. Okay. I've got so much open. Okay. So I roll a d6. 1. Clobbering blow. The Budokan slams an opponent with a rock hard blow. D10 bludgeoning damage. All right. Makanda, you've got armor from memory.
Yes, but I did skip my turn to use a reaction, and I'm going to use the parrying action to parry their attack.
Oh, good thinking.
So I'm going to parry it with a shield, which means I just need to make a strength-based melee skill.
Oh, I don't even have to look it up. You're telling me what to do. That's good. All right.
I do have the rules open myself, so I think I'm gonna. So I can use any melee skill that's not knives and staves. So I'm just gonna use, I think, brawling, which is a 14. So I just need to get under that.
I think parrying, you need to actually have a weapon. You can't do it unarmed. But I thought you would have had your sword or your mace or whatever with you because you're a knight after all.
Yeah,
He does also have a shield that you can parry with.
Yeah.
Makenda would have had like his axe and his shield out at least at a combat, so I'm gonna use the shield to basically just parry it. So I need to roll. Let's do this and see if I get it under. And I got a 4.
Oh, yeah, easy. All right. I think that means you don't take any.
Let's see, if your parry succeeds, the enemy attack hits your weapon or shield and you suffer no damage. However, if the damage exceeds your weapon's durability, the weapon's damage cannot be used.
Yep.
Okay, so you just need to do the damage.
Yep. Okay. So, yeah, well, that saved you a lot of hassle because it could have been, it tries to smack you down, but you've got the shield, stopped it. Normally, you're supposed to re-roll initiative, start of every round, but it's like, let's just keep what we've got. It's so back to the top of the round. It's 4. It's Grisania. What'd you like to do? There's one down, bleeding green Icar on the ground. There's the other one up fighting Makanda. You could throw a knife. You could try and dislodge a rock or something onto it. You could throw your torch. You could just keep guard in case more come. You know.
You're muted, by the way.
I'll throw a knife at the one fighting Makanda, thanks.
Okay.
So let's see.
That's still your knife skill, so 14.
Okay, I made it. I don't think I'm going to do much damage, though.
You add your
just a
dex
die.
bonus in this case, I think.
Oh, all right.
So you got, D6 plus a D8 in this case. So you got a good chance of damaging it.
Oh, 14. I maxed.
So 6, 8, and 2, 10 left. Okay. So you throw your knife, pincer arm goes flying off. Bit of Icar coming up, but it's still going with the other one. That's on 4, 5. Makanda.
Let's see. I can either keep its attention and potentially do another parry, or I could try to finish it off. You know what? I'm going to just finish it off, and Makana is going to swing at it with his axe.
Okay.
So that would be 14 again. Let's see. That is a 12.
Pretty sure that's under your axe skill. So
Yes.
Yeah, that lands.
So,
Yep.
yeah, okay. So 2d8 plus a d4.
Damn.
that would be a 10.
All right.
It looks it.
That's enough to finish it off. That's all right. So bang, you smack it to the ground. So there's now 2 beetle humanoid things bleeding ichor on the ground of this cave. Yeah, there's sort of a pause of silence where you're sort of listening and looking. No, you can't see any other beetle things coming or anything. There are other exits out of this cave, though. It does go, the tunnel goes, there's 2 tunnels that keep going down out of here.
Do
Yeah.
I smell any more? It's like of the beetles. It's like nearby.
Down one of the tunnel entrances, yes. Yeah, down one of the tunnels, yes. Not down the other one.
Did the beetles have anything on them other than their personage?
I don't think they do. No. But looking around, there is like a scratch mark in the floor down the tunnel that doesn't smell like beetles. As if something was dragged.
Do you think the beetles took the journal? But why would they?
Perhaps they want to learn to read.
They probably just assumed it's something valuable because it was in a locked box. They might not even have opened it yet. But if that's where the trail leads, we should go.
Well, the object being dragged is down one tunnel. The other tunnel is the one that smells like the beetles. Both of them still go down, though.
Here's the thing. We don't know what that drag mark is. It could be our quarry. It could be something entirely different. And we just know go off. We only have the hint here of our good friend's nose here telling us that at least these critters were possibly the ones that entered the building. So honestly, either way could lead to something. The bigger question is, do we want to deal more with the beetles right now, or do we just want to see if we can get lucky on the other tunnel?
We do know that the beetles were around the cabin. So it makes me think that this locked box with the journal might be with the beetles. But I do not think that it was the beetles that killed the livestock. I think maybe they were just scavengers that picked up what was left. So I feel like the aquarium might be down the Holy Ditch marks.
I personally, it's like I'm not opposed to. It's like going down the path away from the beetles. It's like if anybody, it's like if nobody has any objections to that.
I feel like it's the best option, honestly, because we just had 2 here. These could be just simple patrollers. Who's to say that there's a whole lot more down that way? I don't think your nose can disseminate between the number of what you smell.
No, I don't believe my it's like nose is that talented as to be capable of doing math.
Do people need to buy a break or tea break? Or are you good to keep going? Or you're all good? No? Okay. All right, so it sounds like you're going down the tunnel that is not smelling of beetle creatures and where the drag marks are. Okay. So you come into another rough cut stone chamber. And there's a mural on the wall. What do we got here? And it looks like the murals, it's made out of like little tiles that have been stuck to the wall, but it's like wolfkin are falling from the stars to the ground. Baston, you know your mother designed this picture. How do you know that?
It was probably something that I've seen her make factoring before I had left the tribes and everything. It was probably part of my mother's profession and all, and that might have been something that was probably personally commissioned by somebody who came by for that sort of, I guess you can almost call it a tapestry in a sense and everything.
Yeah.
But I guess given that line of thought and everything, would I possibly remember who it was that had commissioned this in the first place back then?
Yeah, I think it was one of your cousins did well, got into some money, and yeah, they had some tribes, caves over this way. They were sort of hollowing out to make their home, and it's like, yeah, this is where they put it. This is where they had the mural done.
So do I basically recognize this as another Wolfkin home, basically?
Yeah. Obviously, it hasn't been used for a while because there's no wolfkin here now except you.
I think Makant is going to try and he's going to look at the email and see if they can remember if there's any Wolfkin legend or a legend from any other sources that talk about Wolfkin falling from the skies.
Okay. Yep. So yeah, that's myths and legends. You've got 10.
Yeah, okay. Ooh, that's a 12.
Yeah. If they're falling from the sky, it sounds like a creation legend of how they came to be on the planet and be the best kin and species wandering around better than everybody else, sort of thing. There's always a lot of that in creation stories, but yeah. So if it's not something about it's not a history tale. It's this is how we came to be in these lands from eons ago. More than that, you don't know, which is not surprising. You're not a wolfkin. Okay, there is a pool in this chamber as well. It's a dark pool of stagnant water.
Do I see any clues or anything that indicates why this cave might have been abandoned? It seems like.
It doesn't look like it was like a sleeping chamber. This is more like a meeting place, going by how it's sort of laid out. On the pool, there is some words in Wolfkinese or whatever the name for their language is. And it just says the word life essence written on the pool.
And does it look like it's been abandoned for long or just has not been? Okay.
It's quite still and empty and cold at this point.
I guess what is everyone else doing while I go and proceed to take the tarp down with my mother's?
What's Chrysania doing? Having a drink, refilling the water skin, doing some stretches.
I'll keep watch. Yeah, I'll keep watch while they're. I mean, I'm not too familiar with Wolfkin either, but I guess this is some kind of clue, and they're looking at it. So I'll just keep watch for monsters.
Okay. Orla? What's Orla up to?
Well, I mean, I'm at the moment looking at the water, trying to assess if there's any kind of fish or anything in there.
No, there's no fish.
Darn. That was my initial thought. I was like, maybe I could nab something out of this. My stomach first, everything else second. It's gotta sometimes think about that. But then probably just you said it's a dark pool of water, like
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's dark in here anyway, aside from the torch. But
okay,
yeah,
but it doesn't have any weird coloration or anything like that.
doesn't look like it.
Then yeah, they're just gonna take this moment to kind of fill up their water skin and kind of also take a bit of a drink from this.
Okay, roll a d8, please.
Yep, I knew that was gonna happen.
You're not going to explode or anything, don't worry.
Who knows about that one? Let's see here.
5. Okay. That's kind of appropriate for an elf. Your ears elongate, allowing you to hear the heartbeat of anyone looking at you. So your ears are even longer.
Behold.
They're not like 3 foot. Maybe like an inch or 2 longer.
I don't know, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fit through doors now. We'll see how that goes.
They're just flopping around everywhere.
You know what? I gotta turn sideways here. There we go.
No, they're just like an inch longer.
So so now I have some new addition to my satellite dish here.
Am I familiar with this sort of concoction based on that?
Yeah, does it
Yeah.
tell anything to any of one?
Yeah, you've heard of these sort of pools. Some of them mutate people in good or bad ways. Makanda, when you look at the water, what's a memory you have of being in or around water that comes to mind?
I think as Mikanda kind of steps into this pool of unknown substance, he remembered a memory of his childhood. It would be, I think, the time where he was taught how to swim, where he and his father, and probably his older brother as well, went down from the building to a local lake near where they lived. And as he was being taught to swim, his father basically just picked him up and just threw him over into the lake. Just, you're a duck, you learn to swim. And I think...
Are you just sort of having an internal sort of reverie, or are you describing, this to your party?
I think it's going to be inside Wakanda's head. He's not going to tell this to anyone. And I think, in the flashback, I think you will see Wakanda kind of just flap about in the water, clearly not being able to swim, as his father then basically jumps in and carries him out, gives him a moment or two, then kind of just says him, you should be able to do this. This is how my father taught me how to swim, and his father before him, and his father before him. And then, after maybe a minute, he threw Wakanda back into the lake. And I think after maybe 2 or 3 times, Wakanda did then have to swim just a bit, just enough to keep his head above water.
A long tradition of being a bastard. Wow. Alrighty. All right. I've got to take a quick bio break. 5 minutes, all right?
Answer to me.
Yep. Okay.
Ska vi se till henne.
Okay. Someone always has a cat. It's like bookshelf, check, cat, check. The online game.
Say hi to your cat for me.
I will. Thanks.
We'll just wait for Ola to get back, and then.
I think we're all back. Yeah.
Yep. That's all back. Jolly good. So behind the pool, in the darkness, well, I mean the flickering darkness, because we've got a torch going. There is more stairs going down. The other option is go back up to the surface or go down the tunnel that has all the beetle smells.
Did the dragon completely stop when it got over here, or did it show like it's going towards the steps?
It's going towards the steps.
Okay, so whatever was being distracted, we still haven't reached the end point of it, and we haven't been put in any compromising position. I mean, except for my satellite ears now, who knows?
As you're speaking, they look at you and you can hear their heartbeat.
You might want to get that checked over there. I think. Yeah, You've been having too much greasy foods, apparently.
You're going to be a cardiologist.
But yeah, Orla is just like, I'm still of the opinion that I'd rather continue following where this thing was dragging, and away from the beetles sounds really great to me. But what is everybody else thinking?
You'll definitely get no argument from Bastone. He's just taking the tarp and everything and just adding it to his like, I guess it's a second memento for him now.
Okay.
I think that maybe perhaps before we move down these stairs, Makan is just going to take like one last look around the room and see if he can spot anything valuable out of place.
Up in the pool room or on the stairs?
In the pool room.
It would be. Probably spot hidden, I guess.
Okay, spot hidden. Yes, my best stat.
Oh, you're all right.
Yeah, my best stat.
You find a box of 6 bandages, sort of stashed in a little cabin niche. I'm sure they won't come in handy at all.
Yeah, McKenna's going to just stash those bandages into his inventory. I'm sure
It's only a small box. Bandages aren't very big, but it's useful.
Usually, usually we're gonna need it after we get cut by those beetles.
It's actually, they're in a very nice box. It's like a pewter box. You could probably use it for like a jewelry case or something if you.
If you make it out.
I'm sure there's nothing to worry about. Okay. So you go down the stairs. You're in a marble bricks room. Well, sorry, it's not a room. It's actually caves. Where is it? That one. Why have I got that one? That would be the next one. That makes less sense. Okay. Let me just change that. You're in a marble brick room. It's like slightly greenish marble bricks, about 2 by 3 feet, or 30 by 60 centimeters. So there are 2 elves there with like a golden glow shimmering around them. They don't appear to be moving at all, like they're not even breathing. They're just stock still. They've got, like, they're wearing leather armor. They've got silver short swords, and they've got sort of rope hitched to their belt. But it looks like they're frozen. No, not the Disney movie. They're just not moving.
I'm gonna pick up a pebble and I'm gonna throw it at one.
Take this, stupid elf.
I just want to see if they notice.
Yeah. No, they don't move at all.
So
All right.
they don't move at all. And did this make contact at them?
Yeah, just bounced off them. It's just a slight glow flickering around them. And there's a big doors on the other side of the room.
Does anyone have like any idea of these things as a whole? Like,
Yeah.
is
Or
anyone
that
familiar with this?
Or is the elf here. Maybe she knows. Maybe she recognizes the armor that the elves are wearing.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of curious.
Yeah, they look like normal, rangers, hunters. They were a scout, some sort of scout patrol. They got light arms and armor.
I don't hear a heartbeat, do I?
No.
Okay, so they're not looking at us at least, or at least me.
There is writing on the wall in Wolfkin language.
Well,
they don't actually name any of the languages, so yeah. In Wolfkin, written on the wall, there are 2 puzzles.
Uh-oh.
Like puzzles as in, are they riddles or are they
Yeah, riddles.
Oh, I guess what do they? It's like what they say.
The first one is what goes up and down but doesn't move.
Temperature?
What goes up and down but doesn't move? Is that what you said?
Yep. And the other one is that the more you take, the more you leave behind. What am I?
Yeah, so it's like Baston basically sort of like reads them out in whatever version of common. It's like we
Yep.
The more you take, the more you leave behind. I've heard that one before somewhere.
If the players have no idea, or the characters can roll, that's fine.
Oh no! I mean,
No. I'm
I'd
playing. I'm thinking here. Oh wait. I think I have an answer for the first one.
I think I also have an answer for the first one.
Because Orla's like, well, we kind of just came down what goes up and down, but doesn't move. I believe it's stairs.
Okay.
Could be
Yeah, and one of the elves, the glow around them disappears, and the elves are looking around. Now you can hear his heartbeat.
Uh-oh. Well, while they're all probably thinking about that riddle, the fact that I'm hearing a heartbeat, I'm just like, hi.
Well, introducing himself in Elvish. And what's
oh.
going on? Where are we?
We're in a cave. You haven't really been moved anywhere, unless you were not in a cave just a moment ago.
Oh yeah, we were scouting out the area. There's some weird caves, and then there's a sort of bright flash as we. Hey, and he's sort of waving his hand in front of his comrade, and his comrade's not moving.
If based on the fact that you seem to come out of whatever unique stupor you were in earlier with us figuring out one of these here riddles, I'm assuming your friend is also got us is dependent on us actually putting our brains together for this other riddle.
If you wish, I could potentially wake your friend up with other methods.
With what?
Other methods.
Well, what?
Perhaps we might
Wait, no.
want to refrain.
Wait. I want to hear. What other methods are we talking about here? I'm curious.
It's a bit difficult to describe. I can show it. If you want me to show it on the sleeping friend in particular, I can potentially demonstrate it on one view.
Oh, me.
Think Baston's like, if you have to demonstrate it, I think I have even less faith in that.
No, this always works. It's not once not worked. And we can demonstrate. McKenna is going to basically give a backhanded slap as hard as he can.
All right, so Christiana gets knocked to the ground, but you don't actually take like damage and stuff, and it's like you don't feel like you get that's waking you out of the status that you didn't have.
That's terrible.
You see, if Christiana was in a trance, this would have woken her up.
That is certainly a good backup option.
I think this Mallard's into some tough love.
Now,
wow.
now, before any of us is the next target of this great technique, does anyone have any ideas of the second riddle at all?
Oh, if you go to the bathroom, like, if you take a leak, the more you leave behind.
Somehow I don't imagine that's correct, but I could but I guess that's technically not up to me.
No, it's not.
Let's see.
Is
Wait,
the
so
answer thwarted?
what was it again? It was the more you take them
The more you leave
The
behind.
more you take, the more you leave behind.
behind.
I think, regarding Baston sort of looks back at the stairs, considering the first is riddle, and then sort of thinks back a moment to the trail that he was following before he kind of just and sort of contemplates a bit before he is before he considers footsteps.
Yeah, footprints. So the glow disappears. The other elf sort of, oh, what's going on?
My companion was thinking of slapping you.
Wait. That's an unnecessary detail.
Baston
just
shrugs.
It's like Orla just putting just a finger on your nose, no, not that detailed. No, let's not go that. They don't need to know that our friend was going to give some tough love in a way.
They seem like they're a big, strong, and capable elven lads. I don't think a slap would have done too much.
Can we drop the slapping and just acknowledge that we didn't do it at least?
Sure.
Yeah. So the elves introduced themselves here. They were on patrol. they think they've been here like a year, going by what you've said of sort of recent events and that, and they're like, oh, okay, we should get back to Outskirt and let people know what happened.
So, how did that happen to you? Just so we don't do that to ourselves.
Yeah, we were just talking, and then there was a bright flash. We heard something in the darkness, and then it was like flash, and then you were here, and
Okay, so I can't rule out possible time travel. Got it.
Did you know of
Or-
any wolfkin here? By any chance?
I think like about 5 or 6 years ago there were some here, but they left.
They
So it's
left.
been that long.
When you say left, you mean they left or did they leave?
There used to be a lot of orc tribes in the area, and I believe that particular group of wolfkin were trading with them, and they were, they got along and everything. And when a lot of the orcs left, the wolfkin went, you know what? These are our people now. We're going with them, and they left the area.
Yes, that's not particularly uncommon.
I'm still stuck right now on the Orla is just too busy, still kind of taking in on the fact of just watching their mallard friend here doing this with their feathers, and they're more focused on that than everything else at this point. They're too distracted.
All right, Chrisani, are you doing anything? Or?
No, I'm just listening for now. Just listening to them.
All right. So, there's the big double doors at the back of the room, or you can go back up the way you came.
It's kind of asking the two elves. It's do you happen to know where these doors lead to?
No, we didn't get that far. We got stuck, and you found us.
Do you know why you were down here to begin with?
We were just on patrol, and we thought we'd check it out. We saw weird tracks, and thought we'd have a quick look.
So you're just patrolling. You don't even know what the tracks were about or anything like that. You just were kind of down here.
No, just definitely they weren't obviously human or elven. We thought we'd come and have a look, but we're like a year late, so we should get going. Want to get home and let people know we're okay.
Yeah. I can say you got probably a really good paycheck for how long you've been on duty here. Probably it's overtime.
Yep. All right. So they shake all your hands and thank you very much, mate.
And when you get back to the outskirts, do not forget to tell them that the great Machinador of Half Bay saved you.
We will. Thank you, oh mighty Mallard. Okay. So they leave.
Is there anything else in here that we see at all besides going to and fro from whence we came or forward? Now that there's no glow and no elves.
You can smell like plants and trees coming from the direction of the doors.
Well, we've already been committing so much time going down this way, and at least that way doesn't smell like bug. And just to let me check, is there still signs of that dragging? Is the dragging of that item still around, or have we lost sight of it at this point?
No, it's still going towards the doors. Now, the elven duo had coin pouches. Do they still have them, or did that find their way to your backpack, Chrisani?
I think they've suffered enough. I don't. They lost a year of their lives. I mean, they're elves, but still.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't think I would have picked Pac.
All right.
Well, then Orla's gonna at least say, knowing all that. Yeah, I'm still going on the mindset of farther away from bugs. Good.
Does Orla not like the sight of giant bugs?
I don't have to comment on that one.
Okay. All right. So beyond the doors is this room. So there's a chamber beyond the far side of it. It looks like it opens up. There's actually a lot more light, and it opens up to the sky. So it must be a part of the caverns where there's another chasm up to the sky.
As I thought, it's more likely this is a way to an exit, and farther away from the bugs and such is. But we have no idea if the bugs may have it, or if that whatever is dragging this thing is the thing we're after.
It's quite cold in this room, despite sunlight coming down on the far side.
Kursana, you didn't happen to take something from your uncle's abode that perhaps I could catch a scent of?
Gosh, I have the key, but I don't know that it would smell like the lockbox.
But there's a chance that that if it's the journal and other stuff has any remaining scent of your uncle, maybe he can get even a slight hint of what if this is related. Maybe.
Sure. Let's see.
I mean, he hasn't been near the lockbox for like 6 months or so, so I don't think there would be much scent left.
Yeah.
Can I say he? Oh, yeah, that's true.
Though the thing is, the hut, the cabin might have had some certain scent to it, given its.
Yeah, you could roll to see if there's a halfling, older male halfling kind of scent to it.
Oh, I could say that. I could say that he gave me like a scarf to keep warm, and then he smokes a lot.
Sure.
So
yeah, like pipe or something. Yeah.
Yeah, pipe. So then this cabin would definitely smell like that, or might still have some scent.
Yeah.
So probably just roll a d20 and interpret the result.
Yeah, it would probably be hunting, I think.
Okay. Incidentally, my hunting is surprisingly bad.
Oh.
So I literally just rolled 1 over what I needed to succeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All you can smell in this area is trees, because there's a lot of bushes and trees and stuff. So it's getting whatever else there is getting overpowered.
Now, from where we were originally, before we went down the cave and everything, before all this, what was the weather and temperature like there?
It was autumn, so half the leaves have fallen. It's cold. I mean, it's misty because you're in the misty vale, but yeah, it's not cold but cool.
Okay.
And the other side of this cavern is this guy.
Uh-oh.
I say guy, you don't actually know its gender.
Oh, it just looks like a friend. It looks fuzzy. It's
just like a grizzly bear. It wants a hug.
Yeah, I think
Wait.
as soon as he steps into view, I think Mechanics is going to shout it, Hark, who goes dead.
So
Against myself.
it's about 9 foot tall.
My first thought, as well with what Orla's thinking, just kind of mentioning at the side of this, is just, is it possible if we went backwards? I mean, that thing's pretty big. Do you think it's going to be able to fit in the later parts of the cave, or do we want to deal with that?
What kind of adventure runs away from danger?
Yeah, so it's over 2.5 meters tall, or 9 feet. It's sort of looking at you.
Oh, well, I guess I'm hearing a heartbeat now.
Yep. And it says, "Why are you here?"
We are here for a mission, a quest to retrieve an item of most value. And we have reason to believe that it is located somewhere in these caverns.
Yeah, behind it, you can see there's the lockbox against the wall of the cavern.
I am a candidate of a half bay, great protector of the innocent and slayer of the wicked. And who, they tell what you be?
Orog Defiler.
You file things?
Defile, smash. I smash things, Orog.
Ah, so you rearrange things.
Break, smash.
I understand.
Orog strong.
But how strong though?
He sort of does a flex.
I see. I appreciate.
Oh, for
I appreciate
example,
that.
How far can you throw that lockbox to us? Can you throw it hard?
Yes, my friend wants to test your strength. Just
Right, it's not the brightest, so it's just going to pick it up and chuck it at you. You can roll evade.
Yes, I will. 14.
14.
I'm gonna use my willpower to get a boon to evade roll.
I think so. Does that sound right? I can't remember about spending willpower.
Yeah, Chrisana does have hard to catch.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, it definitely would be an attack since if this hit should probably take quite a bit of damage.
Yeah. All right. Thank goodness I made that. Because I did it on the I got it 2 on the second roll.
All right. So yeah, the lockbox just smashes into the side of the cave next to you. A bunch of coins spill out into the ground, and your uncle's journal.
Thanks.
Okay.
Baston is kind of just like whatever the equivalent of golf clapping is, and just very strong indeed.
Yeah, and Orla's like, so what's your regimen and all? Do you what do you lift every day? Orla's just completely continuing this conversation with the giant.
It's sort of pointing to the rocks, and the rocks are 2 feet sort of diameter, and it's just does some pushes, and he does one-handed. And
as this is happening, Makanda's going to kind of scoot over to Chrisana and just be like, "This foul beast is a villain. he stole your uncle's property, more likely damaged it, and he calls himself a defiler. He destroys, he takes. If left alone, he'll stack again. We must take him out before that can happen. I want
Where are we
you.
gonna take him? I don't.
You're a thief. You know you're very dagger, and he's sufficiently distracted. I think it's the time for you to show us how you got your reputation. And he'll pat you back. I'll help me with distraction. Don't let me down. Kind of you then waddle, and I think every time my kind of backs, you can hear the waddle, like the whole like slap of the wet foot and like stone as the bit of armor he has over it, like jiggles a bit.
I don't
Okay.
think we
You're
should
trying to
fight.
sneak up to attack him.
I don't want to fight this person.
Do not let me down, Krisana. He turns back, like gives you like the pointed stare.
I don't want to
Okay.
fight this person.
It turns down.
We got what we needed.
That's a great order.
Is Makander going to attack, or is he just trying to talk Krasana into it?
Mercatus convinced himself that his son will attack following his order, so now he's going to go distract the Chidor.
Well, it's already distracted. It's chatting about its exercise regimen with Orla.
Yeah, he's going to come and stand next to Orla and like just keep attacking.
Oh, and just all was like, wait, what? That's beside the point. So I can see that you can lift that very, very well. Now the bigger question is, how far can you throw that? Like I see how well you threw that thing, but that thing's like nothing compared to what you're lifting there. How far does that go?
Okay. Well, it picks it up and sees the duck, throws the boulder at the duck. Makander, you've got to roll evade or parry. Actually, you've got a shield, so you can parry.
I'm just going to check what's
I'm
my
helping,
evade.
by the way.
Yes, evade, my best stat. Okay, I could evade, I could parry. Yeah, I think I'm going to just parry the border.
Yep.
I have a better chance with that. And I forgot how does helping in each Dragonbane work again.
That's a good question. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I'll say you can get a boon. So you roll 2d20. Take the best one.
Okay. So 2d20. I'm replacing it up below 14. Okay, and I got a 3 and a 2.
All right, so yeah, you kind of go backwards from the force of the blow, but it doesn't actually shatter your shield and send you flying backwards. What is Baston doing during all this?
I guess Baston kind of like. So I guess it kind of knocked. It's like the blow kind of knocked Makander back, but probably didn't like. I don't know, cause him like to hit into anything.
But he did sort of go back about a foot so he doesn't break his arm. His wing.
I mean, it's like kind of like watches at first, just like impressive indeed, and then just sort of it's like hurriedly heads over to it's like Makander and just it's like sort of like I don't believe it. It's like and it's like perhaps I'm wrong, but it seems like it doesn't seem. How should I put it? Inherently malicious. It's like we don't. It's like really know how it came upon the. It's like Krisana's uncle's belongings, but do you? It's like really. It's like, but with how we saw, it's like the cabin and everything. Do you? It's like really believe. It's like. He, she, they. It's like them would have been so. It's like And it's like you could tell Bastone's like having a really hard time figuring out how to phrase any of this, and just it's like I think what I'm getting at is perhaps there was it's like somebody else behind it. It's like this. It's like they don't. It's like especially since I guess we're calling back to the state of like the rundown cabin and everything. It's like we didn't seem to run into any clues that suggested a almost 3 meter tall giant and everything would have been able to.
No, it no way would have fit in the halfling's cabin,
Yeah.
and there were definite claw marks in there. So it looked like the beetles took the box, and then this thing took the box from the beetles.
And it did so kindly return us the lockbox, and we asked.
I'm guessing Chrisani is scooping up the coins and stuff.
Yeah, I'm getting the journal and the coins. Yeah.
Okay.
What I'm
There's
trying
also
to
some
say is,
gloves and a longbow on the floor.
and it's like Baston's still struggling with this. Just like I think what I'm trying to say is, I think the real evil might be somewhere else that we need to search. Does that make sense? I mean, just look at and like the camera probably pans back to like the the giant still showing its exercise regimen too.
Yeah, it's doing a handstand push up.
And all the while this is happening, Orla is just now kind of getting its life story. Like, so where are you from and all? Like, do you live around here or are you visiting?
Because he was doing a handstand push up, he tries to gesture to the cave and then falls on his head. Sort of home, head hurt, home, woods.
And then the camera pans back to it's like Baston still talking to Makander. It's like just like yes, I think it's like so yes, as I was saying, I think it's like I don't think you're necessarily wrong in that there is some evil behind this, but I don't think the evil we are searching for is that.
This would be a great argument, but Makander is mothered, and mothers are known to be ill-tempered and quick to anger. And after basically having a bullet thrown at him, Makander's kind of like seeing red.
Yeah, you're looking at the damage to your shield. You just while they're talking, your anger's just rising. Like no.
And I think unless someone maybe physically intervenes, Makander kind of just.
Well, I don't know anybody would they? Because they Baston's chatting to you, Orla's chatting to the giant, Chrisana's picking up the coins. So out of that, you just go whoosh, and take the giant.
Yeah, like I think like people could definitely like just because Makander isn't going to strike any of his party members. He would never hurt them intentionally or unintentionally.
You just slapped the duck before. No, before.
As I said, he would never hurt them intentionally, unintentionally. So
it was a demonstration.
Makander, so like if someone probably like stops Makander, he probably would just like back off. But it doesn't happen. Makander is just going to kind of like begin strolling up to the Chidora. And he's basically just going to be like, you think this is funny?
I think the giant will point at Makander and go, quack, quack.
No.
It says, animal friend. Forest giants are friends with the animals of the forest.
I think it's going to be pretty obvious too, and that's when like looking at Makander how he's just gripping the like hilt of his like battle axe, like ever so tighter.
It's up to you. You do what you got to do. There is also, apart from the cavern opening up to the sky, off to the side, there's also a wasp nest.
Wasp's nest.
And we all know wasps are evil. No.
Is the wasp's nest already a giant?
Yeah, it's not far from the giant.
Like, is it over at the giant's head?
It's close enough that if you wanted to chuck something at it, they would attack him first. Well, the giant first, because they're closer.
I think Makan is going to.
You gonna do Captain America and throw your shield?
I don't want to use a shield that should be useful.
There's plenty of
I think-
little rocks on the ground if you want.
Yeah, Makan is going to pick up a duck on this. So Makan is going to like bleed out, like steady themselves. They appear to be like coming down, and Makan is like, Orlok, do you want to say a fun trick? And Marvel can like crouch down, pick up a duck, like show it to Orlok, and then they're going to basically sling it or throw it basically at the wasp's nest to try to get the wasp's nest to fall down on top of Orlok.
All right, I'm not going to make you roll. That's fine. You can throw it and set off the wasp. The wasp start attacking the giant. Chrisana, what are you doing? The giant's going, there's wasps swarming. The wasp crowd is getting bigger as more wasps come out of the nest. You're, 20 feet back in the cave. You've got your gear. What are you doing?
We should run. Oh, man. All right, so I'm going to go to the side. I'm going to stay in the side of the cavern, and I'm just going to hold and see what these, like, if these people attack, I guess I'll attack as well. But
you're saying we should run. We should run.
Yeah, I'm thinking we should run. So
right.
I'll hold my reaction or whatever.
Okay, yep. We're not doing initiative yet because nothing's attacking you guys. It's just the wasps are taking the giant at this point.
Right.
Orla, what are you up to?
I was having a grand old conversation here, just appreciating things. Then suddenly, just out of nowhere, this hide just fell. I didn't even see why it fell. It just fell, and suddenly the wasps are attacking. I'm like, and so Orla's like, oh, that's not very lucky at all. And they're gonna pull out a torch, and they're like, let me help you with those wasps really quick. And they're just charging in to go and try and like bat at the wasp with the torch.
Okay.
Like, oh my goodness, let me help you there. That doesn't look too healthy.
Baston, what are you up to?
I mean, Baston definitely doesn't disagree that they need to go, especially because no one really wants to deal with wasps per se, certainly not willingly. I think for now he is tempted to sort of like join Chrisana, but he also but at the same time, it's like Orla's over there basically trying to like smoke away the wasps and everything, and Makander is writing out their temper tantrum, I think. But Stalin kind of has to see what happens next.
All right. Makander, what are you doing? Orla's gone ahead to attack the wasp with the torch. The other two are kind of at the stairs going, we should go.
I think that you can start with this is not like this, but I think Makander, like as Oda is trying to get to the giant, I think Makander will kind of just like grab like her hand, she tries to get past him to the giant, and basically just like pulls her along with him as he runs towards the exit.
All right, so you're trying to pull Orla away.
Yeah, basically.
Well,
if
Orla,
that's
how
allowed.
she responds? Yeah.
Yeah, if Oda.
Orla is like, I'll catch up with you guys. You guys go on ahead. I gotta take care of the wasp. One moment.
Just, you can't. That's too
No,
dangerous.
it's
That's,
okay.
That's
It's
someone
okay.
with uncle that died.
No, I have a torch. It'll be fine. I can take care of the wasps. I may get a few stings. It's okay. I'll be with you.
See how many there. That's exactly what happened to my great uncle, Uncle Donald. He was just he thought everything was under control. Then, from a sudden, a wasp just like flew down his throat, and the next thing we know, he's up, belly up, dead.
Well, and that's what we got. We gotta prevent this one from being a belly up dead over there. He's getting attacked by a bunch of wasps. We can't.
Expanding.
He's made his mistakes and earned eternal damnation to the wasps.
All right. Let's just roll. Yeah, let's roll d6. All right. So he's kind of the forest giant's kind of and he's just swatting these wasps and just kind of staggering roughly around in a circle. And the wasps just keep attacking them. There's a bit of a stream a bit further in. He's kind of running towards the stream now. The wasps are following.
You see, he's completely fine. Let's just get out of here.
That is not what we call completely fine. Just go on ahead. I will be there shortly. Where are you going? I don't know if the water's gonna be enough for the wasps. And Dorla just is following after.
Yeah, meet us up at the cabin, I should say.
Yeah, McKenna just runs up to Bastion and he says, "It's the last cast. I think there's no saving."
And Bastion sort of like reaches out to like try to snatch Orla from is like behind and start dragging her with them.
All right, you did manage to disperse some of the wasps. They really didn't like the torch at all. Yeah, so
and
I giant a bit.
Well, I'm at this point like with Baston. Baston is a lot more got a lot more grip and everything. So Orla is just like kind of just like and just like suddenly just realizing I'm no longer going one direction and just like
in drag back. All right. So you can head up to the previous chamber with the pool. Yeah, you can stop there or you can go up to the cabin. It's up to you.
Well, we did manage to successfully retrieve the lockbox and journal you were looking for your uncle. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and a pair of gloves and a longbow. Because I guess Christiania was sort of grabbing everything while everyone was chatting to the giant. It was her uncle's stuff after all. All right. So, yeah, you can stop at the pool room. You can go up to the cabin. You can just run all the way back into the woods. I don't know.
Well, is there really any reason for us to going further in this cave? I mean, we got what we came here for. Is there anything else that we need to address?
There's the other side tunnel that smelt of beetles. We haven't explored, but you don't have to.
There's also the mystery of the strange light that put the two elves in a trance.
Hmm. But you didn't see any strange lights when you were in the same room. It's just something that happened to them.
I mean,
You could always try and catch up with them back at the outskirt and ask them more.
I mean, it could have also been a trap. I mean, that was laid here by somebody long ago, and they just fell into said trap. So, it might not even be anybody involved in that. Or at least not anybody who's here anymore. I mean, we could go down the route of the beetles, but I feel like after seeing two beetles and just kind of, I'm assuming that was a patrol. I want to bet that that's probably there's probably a decent sized amount of beetles down there, and I'm pretty good with just taking the two.
Yeah.
Perhaps they should.
This is.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably having dinner. You know, this is their house. We can't just go in and like, kill everyone.
Got napkins
right.
on.
You're so right, Chrisania. I dinner. How could we need to go back and get and everything? I need to get some of the beetles. I need to have some prepared for tonight. It might require a bit of extra cooking because who knows where they've been. But yeah, we can't leave good meat lying about. And I mean, insects are a great form of protein, so it'll be great for everybody. I'm pretty sure.
Wait, you're gonna okay? You're gonna carve up some of the beetles. I think that's bushcraft.
All right. Well, let's see what the dice says to that. 11 to my what was my bushcraft? Bushcraft, where are you?
It passes.
I passed barely.
Yeah, it's a bit bland, but it would fill you up if you ate it.
Oh yeah, I got some meal.
And they were fairly sizable, so there's probably like 2 meals each worth there.
I mean, best don't eat it. He won't be very happy with how bland it is, but he'll eat
It's like dried jerky. It's not very tasty, but does the job.
Listen, all we have to do is just get the right kind of spices with it. I didn't bring any spices with me, so that's a whole different problem. But we just got to get some spices, and it'll be much better. I assure you.
Yeah. Are you going to stop in the cabin upstairs, or are you just going to start trekking through the woods back to outskirt?
It's a good question. Are we?
It's probably like midday now.
It's midday. If we were to try to go to outskirts, like how?
It's about 3 days.
3 days. Okay, so we'd probably want to stop at the cabin then, given I don't think we want to be out in the middle of the night. On our way over there, huh?
So, since we've retrieved the lock box and the journal, are we expecting to travel back to bring them back to the uncle, or?
Yeah.
And how far is you mentioned he was at the city, was it?
Yeah, outskirts. So it's like 3 days.
Yeah, right, the outskirts, yeah. Okay. Let's see. It does seem like a good idea, perhaps, to start making our way towards the if we make our way towards back towards the cabin, is that towards the is that in the direction of
No,
heading
it's just up, and then you got to go across the woods. Something like half an hour trek up to the cabin, but
I think Baston is just sort of is unhappily sort of pulls apart some of the jerky and everything as he's eating, and he's just were there any spices in your uncle's kitchen by any chance?
Yes.
I apologize.
Always.
I apologize. I used up all the spices and we cooked at board.
I think we should go back for spices.
So that's fine. You can go back up to the cabin. There's probably like 6 spices there. You can just sprinkle some of them on. Yeah, it makes it a lot tastier. All right. So you're going to leave the next morning through the woods, or are you going after lunch, basically?
It's a 3-day trip. I feel like we should go now just to make headways.
Yep.
Definitely, I agree with that. Though, I would say on our way, we should be definitely making plans on where we're going to stop. It's not like we're going to be able to make it there in one go, so we got to plan accordingly if we see any kind of good kind of shelter.
Yep. Well, that's all down to bushcraft roles. Who's on point? Who's leading the trail?
I think I'm the bushcraft scout here.
And someone else can give it a go if they want, but it's up to you, lot.
I mean, who wants to do it?
If you want, Mackenzie can do a bushcraft. It is his best start afterward.
I feel like that's a lie, but but I will not stop you if you wish to do so.
I have every faith in Makander.
Yeah, okay. I think Makan is still coming down from the adrenaline rush of his ankles.
He's got 5.
So much in case that he completely misses
All right.
anything that would be useful for counting.
All right. So let's roll on the mishap table. Let's roll a d12.
Makander, I thought I said we were supposed to go northwest. We've been going southeast this entire time.
All right. So you're sort of going through the woods, going on a vague forest trail. Up ahead, you can see a group of skeletons in sort of armor, and they've got rotting flesh on their bones. They're about, I don't know, 30 meters or 100 foot up ahead. And there's just some skeletons milling around in armor. They haven't noticed you yet, but you're going to have to take a big detour around them if you don't want to them to come and try and kill you.
You see, I brought us on the correct track. Skeletons means there's a necromancer nearby. If there's a necromancer nearby, that means there has to be some kind of shelter for them to conduct their nefarious rituals.
I don't like how well put together your logic is, where I feel like I really shouldn't agree with you, but I can't say that you're wrong on this one. The question is, though, how would you find out? I mean, you see skeletons. That doesn't tell us where they came from.
It's 5 skeletons in the rotting flesh. You can smell it from here because you're downwind. They got armor.
Easy. We just go the opposite direction. We just go from where they came from.
You can go around them. So if you want to go around them, we're talking stealth or bushcraft.
Don't worry, I got us into this mess. I'll get us out.
I knew that was what you were going to say, and I really should have. I should learn from my lesson, but no. Go ahead, lead on.
Yeah.
I have every faith in Makander.
Orla, not so much.
I got the 12.
Chrisana, you're not going to say no, I got this or something, or you're happy letting Makander keep leading?
Yeah, I'll volunteer. I could probably
Okay.
sneak us across.
Are you
across,
sure?
around.
Are you sure? Makander here seems really confident.
I'm
be
just going to go
sneaky.
around. If you want to follow me, you can follow me. So, yeah, watch me fail now. Let's see.
It's okay. We can always have 2 failures go back to back, right?
Sure.
What's the worst that could happen?
I made it.
Woo!
Do we all have to do the sneak?
No, you just follow her. I'll be nice. Otherwise, there's no chance you'll ever succeed being in your heavy armor and everything.
I mean, sneak is my best stat.
All right, so Chrysania shows you a quieter way to go right around the skeletons. All right. And I'll say you get back to outskirt. Ta-da! You survived the adventure.
All right.
Where is it? One.
I wanted to say that in an alternate universe, we probably all just end up getting attacked by the skeletons following Makander.
Well, I feel sorry for you because you got so lost and they helped you out.
Oh my goodness.
That would be embarrassing. Alrighty. So
We followed them.
you get back to town. The gloves are +3 armor. They've got protection glyphs sort of shimmering on them. They're magical, but they give you 3 points of armor. Anybody can wear them. I would suggest someone who doesn't already have a crap ton of armor. It would be more useful to someone with less.
I think perhaps he should go to Krisana simply because Krisana's also kind of a melee fighter. And they don't exactly have the most HP or armor.
Yeah, and you get 70 gold each, so 70.
70 gold.
Yep, 70 gold each. Yep.
Oh, that makes us rich.
And there's a longbow, which is draconic, so you get a boon against against demons. So anytime you roll to attack demons, you get 2d20, take the best one. Doesn't change damage, but you're way more likely to hit. All right, let's. What does Bastion do? The first thing he gets back to town, he's been in the forest with these genius adventurers for 3 days.
Maybe 6 days.
Find the nearest restaurant or someplace with good food. Especially, it's like that jerky was especially depressing for him.
What about Chrysania?
Yeah, I go back to my uncle, and I read the journal along the way. I think also just because I'm sleepy. Yeah,
he did a lot of traveling when he was younger, 30 years ago, and it's just about different interesting spots in this area.
Okay. I look for anything. I just keep a mental note if there's anything that interests me. Yeah, so I go visit him, and I guess I'll give it back to him if he wants it.
Yeah, he's happy to have a chat. He's grateful you got his journal, and there's a spare room if you're going to stay in town a while.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I tell him what happened also to the cabin, and yeah, so
he's
cool.
A bit bewildered about the whole elf talking to the giant about press ups and stuff, but he's like, wait, what? He doesn't like the sound of skeletons in the forest, but it's like, you made the right idea to just go around, because 5 of them, that's pretty nasty. All right, Orla, what are you doing in town?
Orla, join me for food and drink.
I mean, if you make that offer, that's better plan than Orla had. I guess Orla was going to be like, I have no idea. Orla does not know how to deal with city life. So by all means, being given an option of oh, come just go join me for food and drink. It's like, oh, that's better than what I thought. I was just going to go over to the nearby forest and just trying to find a way to kind of hunt.
It's not a huge city. Outskirts 1,000 people. It's just a little outskirt, out frontier town and stuff. So it is not the forest, but it's not a thriving metropolis.
I've gotten a little used to life not living amongst people, so I've kind of forgotten what it's like to live in a society.
Yeah, and I imagine every time they go back to any sort of village or civilization or anything, Baston always offers to treat the party and everything to food and drink, because that's one of the little joys that he kind of lives for.
Does he take the salt and pepper every time he goes to the tavern? He's like, oh, I'll just keep them.
if nobody notices.
Mikando, what are you doing in town?
Yeah, so after a successful quest as always, Mikando is going to make his way over to a local pub in the outskirts, and he's going to start by treating himself to a celebratory drink before he, especially the 70 gold they just all got, he'll buy a few rounds of shots around for everyone in the pub, as he basically just tells this over-exaggerated tale of his latest adventure in the Magna Woods, before eventually someone just cursive out on it, which Angus marked and Angus marked that, and this leads to a pub blood, which ends up with the local guard of the outskirts, just escorting Mark and Dad to the holding cell of outskirts and just keeping him there over the night, in that sort of drunk tank of version, as they also just expect Mark and Dad to pay his bail. And I imagine this happened a few times already, to the point where Mark is basically on a first name basis, with the local guardsmen.
Okay, so you're going to be a local troublemaker, but not too much. All right, then we're going to run through experience points. So you all participated. You all just explored a new location, defeat one or more dangerous adversaries. Yeah. Overcome an obstacle without using force. Yes. Because you kind of outskirted the skeletons and you used the wasps against the giants. Overcome a weakness. I'm not sure anyone did that.
Overcome a weakness.
I don't think so, especially since going for the weakness gluttonous was pretty much the first thing Mastodon did the moment they went over the outskirts.
Yeah, and unfortunately there was no goblins or other nightkin and all, so nothing for me.
Yep. So you get 4 XP each. So you can, let's see if I remember this rightly. So yeah, you can choose 4 of your skills and say these are the ones I want to roll to see if they go up. And then you roll above them. You try and roll above them. And if you do, then they go up.
Now you actually roll above to level up. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, because that way the higher they are, the harder it is to increase them. Okay.
So you said we get to choose 4 skills? I'm sorry.
Yeah, each of you get to choose 4 skills, any skill you like. And yeah, then you roll the D20 to try and roll above them. If you do roll above them, then they go up 1. If they don't, then yeah, you're still working on it. You're still practicing that skill.
And then you're about to say, Rod? I'm sorry.
No, Blake just answered my question. Yeah.
Should we go one by one so we don't clutter the
Or you can roll 40-20 at once.
Oh yeah, you can do that as well. The question is which skills?
I mean, obviously, it's like one of those should be bushcraft, your best skill, right?
It's already my best skill, though.
Okay.
Okay. I got my 4. Let's just now see what you get.
Just make a note that skill's gone up by 1 if you rolled above it.
Okay. Should I mention here what went up?
Yeah.
No.
Do what you like with it. So there's training montage with some heroic music and you practicing bushcraft or whatever it is you're training in.
Okay, so I rolled for my first skills, I managed to get +1 into 3 of them. So I chose myths and legends, which I didn't get a level up in, so that remains at 10. I rolled to increase my bartending, bluffing, and crafting, and get a +1 for all 3 of those.
Okay. That's all right. Someone else want to have another go? Or? You can choose weapon skills as well if you want. Personally, if I was playing, I'd be doing evade every time.
I didn't realize I was muted, but yeah, I already went. So the first skill I rolled for was hunting and fishing, which that goes from 14 to 15. The second skill I rolled, which I got 11, so that was for spot hidden, which that goes from 6 to 7. Then my third one was for bow, which went from 14 to 15. And then I don't know because it's a 6, but I did try to see if I could go up with brawling, just because I was randomly wanting to do that, and I tied with it. So
yeah, it has to exceed, unfortunately.
Yep. So then, that. So I only got those 3 there. So I have 15 in bow, hunting, and 7 in spot hidden.
It's really good. How did you go, Rob?
Oh, for me, you just rolled, I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's like I did awareness, bushcraft, evade, and hunting and fishing. Unfortunately, evade's the only one that didn't succeed. Oh yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Oh, I failed in everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Did you try to upgrade all the good skills already?
But
Go for the low skills?
you know, you got the warm fuzzy from getting your uncle's journal back, and
Sure.
yeah. All right. So now it's just the stars and wishes was a standout moment. Clarice, you want to go first? Something that stood out you thought was really cool someone did?
I just enjoy our problematic mallard being very much the true to their being, to a very unfortunate fault. And I love it. Absolutely love Baston being kind of our I would
Voice
want
of
to say
reason?
voice of reason, the most grounded of us all, and also thankfully our best form of tracking at this point in time. So we'll never say no to actually having somebody who can get us in the right direction, maybe. Better than what we were doing originally.
Can't wait for the next adventure where it's like accidentally just like smelled. It's like something that's it's like seemed really delicious and just completely go off the it's like trail to like the complete opposite direction of the adventure.
Gosh darn it. And then loved just Christiana, just in general, like one being like, hey, want to just throw that over here? I mean, just as a thought, and just kind of the more clever way of getting their items back, in a way. Also love how just in general, the party's unique makeup works together. From one over here talking with the giant, one plotting against the giant, the one saying, "Hey, let's not attack the giant," or like, "What's the point?" And then the other like, "Hey, I'm just doing my own thing."
All right, Rod, any standout points for you?
Yeah, well, I mean, I love the it's very nostalgic to be in a party again, adventuring party again. So stars to everyone. Yeah, I agree with all that Clarice said. Yeah, I mean, like, when push came to shove with the Beatles, at least we all fought together as a group pretty well. The giant was a different story. We all seem to have our own agenda, but that was still fun. Yeah, I love the personalities. The mallard, the angry mallard, and the thin skinned, I guess. Um, and yeah, same thing with the Wolfkin being kind of, I guess, our de facto leader in a way, or at least the voice of reason, as was said. Um, and yeah, Orla being very offbeat, I'll say, cooking beetles and talking to bad guys. And yeah, and thank you, Blake, for organizing all this. This was kind of
No problem at all.
back. Yeah. Thank you.
Fumi, you want to go?
Yeah, sure. Pretty much, it's like a lot of the same points. It's like enjoyed seeing. It's like Kasana just proceed to like outsmart the giant with like, "Hey, how strong are you? You think you can just chuck that luck box? It's like that lockbox over there. How strong do you think you are?" It's like honestly, the entire scene with the giant was just hilarious. With like Orla just being so fascinated with its workout, it's like regimen and everything, and like and just it's like Mikander just like it's like, but wait, this is it's like this thing's evil, and we it's like should probably vanquish it. Come on, Kasana, it's like do me proud and all these other things, and like they said, basically, it's like our very caloric duck over here who has everything to prove. It's like and all the temper to back it up. It's like and things like that, and it's like yeah, my thanks as well for facilitating all this like.
No problem. Dom, any thoughts?
Basically, I'm going to echo everything that's been said so far. I really enjoyed like the characters and how Kisana managed to. Is basically this thief that does steal, but seems to have like this whole naive side to her that doesn't want to do physical harm. I'm sure she'll be able to change that into time. And I really like the whole scene of Christina just outsmarting the giant by having him throw it instead of just sneaking about to get it or potentially fighting it. I enjoyed Oda's kind of bit of also unhinged behavior, just cooking the beetles and then just randomly drinking this strange water that we know nothing about, just down it goes. And I do like like these the introductions like between Oda and Makander. Like I enjoyed it. It was very fun. I'm looking forward to having more of those kind of introductions. And Buster, somehow the voice of reason in all of this, which is quite odd, but
That's not what
it was-
people normally do with Wolfkin,
Yeah.
but it's good. It was a good change.
yeah, it was change. And when it was going to stay for the rest of the 2 sessions that we have left. And so it's starts to you, Blake, for facilitating this session and walking us all through it. It's generally been one of those games that has been on my radar for a few months now, and I just never got around to actually playing it. So I think you are for giving us the opportunity to play. And for Vicious, my only wish is to see more of the hijinks the party is going to get into. Whether it be on an adventure or perhaps in town. Who knows?
Yeah, something in town. That's easy enough. No worries. All right, we'll leave it at that. I'll just end the stream.